Thanks for joining us on Plus TV Africa. I'm Lakwe Banjo. The Plateau State House of Assembly has impeached the Speaker, Peter Azi, together with the House Majority Leader, Henry Youngquap. This follows a motion on adjournment by the member representing Riyom State constituency, who passed a vote of no confidence on them. Joshua Madaki, now elected new Speaker, while Nanlong Daniel is the new Majority Leader. The impeachment process started on Monday, 9th of July 2018 and was concluded the next day, Tuesday, 10th of July 2018. Security operatives have dispersed supporters of the People Democratic Party from the venue of the party's rally ahead of the governorship election in the state. Party members had converged on the popular Fajuyi Park in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, on Wednesday before gunshots were reportedly fired into the air. Governor Ayodele Fayose later attempted to lead the supporters back to the park, but the move was thwarted with security operatives who reportedly fired gunshots in the air again. The development resulted in the relocation of the rally to the Government House premises, where Governor Fayose and other PDP leaders are expected to address the party members. The Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, Josak Habila, confirmed the incident. Mr. Joshak explained that the move by the law enforcement agents was to prevent a breakdown of law and order in the state's capital and other parts of Ekiti ahead of the July 14th governorship election. Still on Ekiti State and the upcoming elections, Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, has denied the allegation of printing election materials from a Lagos-based printer, accused by the Lagos State Police of printing ballot papers for the Ekiti State PDP.
They said he's to gun running and all that. They went to his house. So we will not educate our people again. It's part of intimidation. Show them what you printed.
It's bond paper, very light damage. Just bond paper, 60 grams bond paper. Specimen. Not usable anywhere. It doesn't bear any logo. It doesn't have anything to do with, the elections. Just like
and it's only one color. Yeah. Because INEC claimed to have customized all the ballot papers. But this one is only one color. And we have to educate our people. APC did their own. INEC, this is one for INEC. This is one for PDP. They have done their own. Everybody is doing their own to educate the people. It's part of their strategy to intimidate.
Meanwhile, the National Coordinator of Democracy Vanguard, Comrade Adeola Soetan, has told Plus TV Africa that the discovery is no cause for alarm. Comrade Soetan, who is currently in Ekiti State to monitor this Saturday's governorship election, says there is nothing wrong with printing specimen ballot papers as long as they are used only for voter education.
As of now, nobody knows what texture, what fingerprint INEC is going to endorse into their own ballot papers. So to me, it may end up being an overzealous noise, but it's good that an investigation was done, and of course, an arrest was made. Then mark you, if after the arrest we discovered that it was specimen, I think there's no case to answer.
The leader of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, and his wife Zinat arrived at the Kaduna State High Court for the arraignment amid tight security. All the roads leading to the court have been blocked by the Kaduna State Police Command, and vehicles are being diverted to alternative routes. The police have said that the move is to avert any breakdown of law and order, cautioning members of the Shiite group against any protest or procession. The couple is charged with 8 counts bordering on culpable homicide, unlawful assembly, and disturbance of public peace, amongst other allegations. The Kaduna High Court, however, adjourned the hearing on the bail applications till August the 2nd. Some bandits have attacked villages around Gandhi in Rabba local government area of Sokoto State. It is reported that an unspecified number have been killed and some villages in the area have been razed by the attackers. The State Police Public Relations Officer, Cordelia Unwewe, said the Police Commissioner, Muritala Mani, and medical personnel have moved to the local government area to assess the situation. Last month, 8 were killed in a similar clash. A French military helicopter crashed in Côte d'Ivoire while on a transit training mission, killing the pilot and seriously wounding a second crew member. The French army said on Wednesday. The Gazelle helicopter came down about 20 kilometers east of the Côte d'Ivoire commercial capital, Abidjan. The cause of the accident is still to be determined. The French army said in a statement both helicopter crews were transferred to a French military base at Port Bouet, where the pilot died. The other crewman is being airlifted to France for further treatment, the army has said. The Defense Ministry offered condolences to the young man's family and friends. Ethiopia's Prime Minister said his government wants to implement a deal restoring relations with former foe Eritrea quickly to make up for lost opportunities after a 2-decade military standoff. Abiy Ahmed signed an agreement with Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki on Monday, formally declaring the state of war between the neighboring states as over. Abiy and Eritrea's leader, Afwerki, announced they would reopen their embassies in each other's capitals, hailing a stunningly swift rapprochement between bitter regional enemies. The two nations said they were ditching the no war, no peace status quo in favor of love and peace, a development that could transform the Horn of Africa region, ending decades of animosity during which both countries remained isolated and dominated by their security forces. Business and development partners World Bank were also briefed on recent political developments in Ethiopia with a view of attracting more investment into the country. Abiy met with Hafez Ghanem, World Bank Regional Vice President for Africa, and the two leaders discussed Ethiopia's development objectives. And when we return, we'll be bringing you the latest updates on the newly rescued boys from the Thai cave and the ongoing trade war between the US and China. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. President Trump has arrived for the annual NATO summit held in Brussels. Jens Stoltenberg, NATO Secretary General, has tried to play down differences between member countries after President Trump lambasted allies for their trade relations with Russia. He said the alliances is what enables the US to be a global military power. US President Donald Trump has accused Germany of being a captive to Russia. He said this at the pre-summit meeting at the residence of the US ambassador to Belgium on Wednesday as Western leaders gathered in Brussels ahead of the NATO summit. President Trump told the NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg that Germany was wrong to support a new $11 billion Baltic Sea pipeline to import Russian gas while being slow in meeting targets for contributing to NATO defense. Spending was what was intended to protect Europe from Russia. Greece has ordered the expulsion of 2 Russian diplomats and barred 2 others from entry for allegedly undermining national security. The Greek government has accused the Russian officials of acting to obtain and distribute sensitive information and also trying to intervene in the issue of the name of Macedonia. According to reports, Russia has said it will mirror the move by expelling 2 Greek diplomats. In the events of this, diplomatic relations between Athens and Moscow will experience a downturn, having shared close ties for decades. One of the 2 diplomats to be expelled was named as Russian embassy official Viktor Yakovlev. A German woman, Beat Zeschape, is on Wednesday sentenced to life in prison by the higher regional court in Munich by being part of the National Socialist Underground, whose members killed 8 Turks, a Greek and a German policewoman, during a 7-year campaign of violence by a neo-Nazi gang. Since the end of the far-left Red Army faction 2 decades killing spree in 1991 that left at least 34 dead, the NTU attacks have been known to be the most violent of their type in Germany. Zeschape's lawyers had urged the courts to convict her of lesser charges of arson and robbery, but the courts convicted her of 10 counts of murder and handed out its toughest sentence. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has visited the country's flood areas after observing the situation from a helicopter flying over Okayama, one of the hardest hit areas. Abe visited a crowded evacuation centre, crouched down on the floor to speak with people, many of which are elders. The PM, who is up for re-election as party leader in September, inquired about their health and assured them that the government will do everything it could do to help the survivors. Japan flood disaster has been the country's worst weather disaster since 1992, with at least 176 killed and many still missing. We'll take the business report shortly after this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Seplat Petroleum Development Company yesterday held its Facts Behind the Figures session at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Facts Behind the Figures provide an avenue for the management of a company to brief the investing public on its activities. Plus TV Africa correspondent Irene Ubani reports.
Seplat Petroleum Development Company PLC, a Nigerian indigenous oil and gas company, is listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange Premium Board and the London Stock Exchange. It has shares in issue of 588.4 million. The company also has a working guidance of 48,000 to 55,000 BOEPD from the 4 oil blocks, namely OMLs 4, 38, 41 and 53. Seplat says OMLs 38 and 41 are its biggest assets and has a financial interest in OML 55. Sounding the closing gong at the Nigerian Stock Exchange was the Chief Executive Officer at Seplat Petroleum Development Company PLC, Austin Avuru. He spoke with Plus TV Africa on the recent collaboration of Seplat with NNPC and other oil companies in relation to the critical gas development project.
Seplat has been in partnership with NNPC and proudly so in several areas of domestic gas supply. As you know, we're in partnership with NPDC. We are operating the Oben plant on behalf of that partnership. We're also operating the Sapele gas plant on behalf of that partnership. Between the Oben plant and Sapele plant, we have the capacity to process 525 million scoop of gas. And we currently supply between 300 and 400 million scoop of gas into the domestic market. So that's an ongoing one. Those are plants that are built and are functioning. We are also going into partnership with the facility arm of the Nigerian Gas Company, NNPC, that's the NGPTC, the Nigerian Gas Processing and Transportation Company. And that partnership will build a midstream gas processing plant in OML 53 in the east. And at full capacity, that plant will be supplying about 250 to 300 million scoop.
Mr. Avuru also spoke on the facts behind the figures of Seplat, highlighting the progress thus far.
Almost everything we do, both in terms of emphasizing our corporate governance structure and culture, and in terms of how we manage our assets and plan our work program and budgets every year, is all about being a company that will consistently deliver natural gas into the domestic market and crude oil for export. And at the same time, manage our bottom line in such a way that we remain profitable in the interest of all stakeholders, particularly our shareholders.
Irene Ubani, reporting for Plus TV Africa.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has now informed all stakeholders forthwith that the provision of a valid court order is one of the prerequisites for the release of BVN information to applicants. The Central Bank of Nigeria published the new amendments for the regulatory framework for bank verification numbers, operations and watch lists for all bank industries in Nigeria. The circular is to be followed by all money banks, switches, mobile money operators, payment solution service providers, and microfinance banks, amongst others. According to the circular on the CBN website's eligibility for access to the BVN, which states that the following entities may have access to BVN information subject to the approval of the CBN. It is now being amended to read, thus the following entities may have access to BVN information after providing a valid court order subject to the approval of CBN. The circular was signed by Mr. Dikpo Fatokun, Director Banking and Payment Systems Development. Still ahead on Plus TV News is the roundup on all our sports and entertainment news. We'll be back in a moment.
In entertainment, sister to popular celebrity blogger Linda Ikeji, Sandra Ikeji, took to social media to share news that her sister, having opened her TV station, has made 30 million naira in its first month of operations. She made the revelation recently and said she was proud of the woman her sister is and that she shows that nothing is impossible. The year has definitely been good for the blogger, as within a short span of time she has been engaged, allegedly married, pregnant, and has also launched her very own Linda Ikeji TV. Nigerian pop star David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, is set to shut down the O2 Arena in London. The Assurance singer took to his Instagram page to share the news by revealing the date for his concert, which will hold January next year. It seems like the DMW star is ready to make history again after Wizkid sold out his concert earlier this year. Davido, who is known for iconic feats, performed recently at the Wireless Festival in London on the 7th of July. Chinedu Ikedieze, popularly known as Aki, has been honored as a distinguished visitor to Miami-Dade County. The mayor of Miami-Dade County handed him a plaque. This was revealed via the actor's Instagram account, where he gave a vote of thanks to the mayor and the county commissioners for honoring him as a distinguished visitor to the city of Miami in Florida. And that's it on entertainment. Up next is the very best in sports.
Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko. Starting off with basketball, Ben Uzo, a point guard for the Tigers of Nigeria, who plays in Mexico, is thrilled with the recent acceptance of basketball culture and its overall growth in Nigeria. Uzo said the turnout of fans during their training and 2019 FIBA World Cup qualifiers hosted in Lagos, coupled with the media awareness, has given him high hopes of a better future. And Uzo was a member of the 2015 AfroBasket winning team in Tunisia. He said it's an indescribable feeling to come back home and see so much love, acceptance, and development of the game of basketball. And for Uzo, after making his debut in 2013 and has become an integral part of the team, he has gone on to represent Nigeria in 3 FIBA Africa Cup of Nations for men, as well as participating at the 2016 Rio Olympics. And Ben Uzo was part of the gold medal winning team in 2015, while in 2017 he helped the team to a silver medal finish in Tunisia under the coach Alex Moura. And over to transfers, Arsenal have officially confirmed the signing of 19-year-old midfielder Matteo Guendouzi from League 2 side at Lorient on a long-term contract for an undisclosed fee believed to be in the region of 8 million euros, but with much of that fee tied up in various clauses. And Guendouzi made 21 appearances in all competitions last season and is the young midfield prospect the club have been after all summer. Still on the transfers, West Ham United have confirmed the signing of Ukrainian winger Andrei Yarmolenko from Borussia Dortmund. And the 28-year-old has put pen to paper on a 4-year deal at the London Stadium after West Ham's bid in the region of £17.5 million was accepted by the Bundesliga giants. And over to Juve, supporters have shown their love for new signing Cristiano Ronaldo by rushing out to buy his new shirt. And delighted fans were seen posing outside Juventus' official club store and went out earlier today with Ronaldo's 7 shirts. And Ronaldo would have demanded the shirt's number to continue his CR7 brand, ranging from his clothing line to hotels. And Juan Cuadrado is one man connected with Juventus who may not be too pleased with Ronaldo's arrival, as the Colombian is now without a shirt number, knowing that he actually wears the number 7 jersey. And Juve announced the stunning £100 million deal for Ronaldo, with the Portugal captain in his usual celebration stance, with Cristiano accompanying the image with the number 7 in his name to confirm his new shirt number. And Ronaldo's astonishing £100 million transfer from Real Madrid to Juve will lead to a £10.6 million payday for his agent. This Real Club confirmed this earlier today. And that's it on Sport Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoku.
Thanks, Udoka. And that's our news roundup of events. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines. Do join us. I'm Lakwe Banja. Have a great day.